Hello. Hi there. All right, here's what we're going to talk about today. 5 things I wish I'd known before I quit my job. If I could send like an email back to myself 4 years ago, this is what it would say. Number 1, time totally changes. Your time becomes so much more valuable when you work for yourself. In the old days, I used to plan the most intricate vacations. I'd put like itineraries with beautiful graphics and just sort of, we're going to go to this restaurant and then we're going to do this thing, we're going to do that. I had time to read like every review on TripAdvisor. I don't do any of that now. My online shopping game is down just because I'm not sitting there, in between tasks waiting for something to do. If I'm not working, I am not working. When you're your own boss, your time just it becomes so much more valuable. You either work on an hourly rate or a per project rate, and as soon as you get your work done, you're free. Go do what you want. So time management becomes a whole different thing, but to me, it's easier. It became so obvious that I needed to value my own time. Number 2, uh, weekends lose a little bit of their sparkle. I'm okay with this personally because the week is so much better. I used to get like the worst case of Sunday scaries, which I hate that name, but we're just going to go with it. Like that just sort of, I would wake up on Sunday morning and just automatically have this like, well, the weekend's over. Ugh, have to go on and just get through the day and then, pack my lunch for work and then go to sleep and make sure I go to sleep early enough so I'm not tired. And then Monday wasn't even that bad. It was Sunday that was bad. It was just like the anticipation of going back to work. That's gone now. I work for myself. I make my own schedule. If I don't want to work on a Monday, I'm not going to work on a Monday. So that gets rid of the whole Sunday scaries, Monday dread kind of thing. But weekends do lose a little bit of their sparkle just because I personally, like, my business is an extension of me. I'm posting on Instagram. I'm sending emails. I'm checking emails. I try not to do client work on the weekends, but I'm always doing stuff for myself, marketing or, just sort of growth and outreach and talking to my clients. I do that whenever I'm inspired and whenever I feel like it. And usually that's every day. So weekends aren't the off time that they used to be. I know plenty of other entrepreneurs that are much better at this. And this comes down to like you and knowing how you work and knowing what you want your boundaries to be. I think if I had children or, maybe we weren't in the middle of a pandemic right now, I might be a little better at being like, now is when I work, now is when I take time off. But I'm inspired to work. So I keep working. And that means that the weeks are better and the weekends, they just don't quite have that like, woohoo, let's party, it's Friday thing for me. Just because honestly, like my whole life kind of feels that way. I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want. All right, so number 3, health insurance. This is like the thing I get asked about all the time. It's just, and here's the thing. It's not that hard to figure out on your own. I think that like the big corporate employers really try and make it seem more complicated than it is, so you don't want to quit. I get my health insurance through the marketplace. Yes, I pay more than I did when I worked for someone. That's that's what you lose out on, but I make so much more money that it makes up for it. And you get to choose your plan. You get to choose from, whatever kind of coverage you want. If you want, the Cadillac the Cadillac Margarita of insurance, you can have it. So again, it's the freedom of choice. It's different in every state. I can't give you advice on how to do that. For me, I just went to the marketplace, or in California, it's called Covered California. You go on, you compare the plans, you pay. It's that simple. I'm assuming there's something like that in every other state. If you have questions about health insurance, I'll try and answer them for you. You can leave them in the comments. But don't be overwhelmed by it. That is so figure outable. Health insurance is not a reason to not quit your job. If you're miserable, if you want to start your own business, don't let health insurance be the thing that holds you back. Another thing I get asked about is number 4. So number 4, and I get asked about this, is what kind of safety net should you have? So I didn't have a safety net. I did have savings. I didn't have quite like, I have 6 months of this and here's my living expenses and here's my budget. I'll be honest, I'm not really a budget kind of person when it comes to my life. I'm just smart with money and it sort of always works out. But if you are a budget person, you definitely need to do this step before you quit your job and make sure you have 3 to 6 months. I recommend 6 months. I think the more the better. You really can't start a business from a place of desperation, right? So if you quit your job and you're kind of figuring things out for a couple months and then all of a sudden your bank account is dwindling, it's going to stress you out, and it's going to be really hard to focus on your business and attracting the right customers and clients and just putting yourself out there in the right way if you're stressed. So do yourself a favor, save up that money if you can before you quit your job. And my final one is that your boss can still be a bitch. Now, you are the boss, right? And something I work on a lot with my clients and something I work on with myself every day is just being nicer in the way you talk to yourself and being kind. And, if you wouldn't say that to your best friend, why are you saying that to yourself? So when you work for yourself, it becomes kind of a different relationship almost. I am my boss, and sometimes I am really hard on myself, and I won't give myself a break. And if I don't finish this thing before the end of the day, then I feel terrible about it all day. This happened to me yesterday. I had this client project I was working on, and I really wanted to get it finished because the weekend's coming up, and I want to not think about it. And I couldn't do it. I was distracted. There's so much going on. So I felt really bad about it for a couple hours, and I kind of realized later on, well, I can just finish it tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal. So I let myself off the hook, but it's hard. And if you're really hard on yourself all the time, you're going to have to work through that. You're going to have to find some ways to be kinder to yourself, to seek forgiveness and give yourself permission to make mistakes. So it's kind of one of those things you don't always think about when you're just sort of in the, I hate my job, I'm ready to start my business kind of thing. So those are the 5 things I wish I'd known before I'd quit my job. If you are wanting to start your own online business, tired of working for someone else, tired of making someone else's dreams come true because it's exhausting, then I have the thing for you. It's called the SPARK Workbook, and it's going to help you figure out what your true skills and talents and passions are, like what lights you up inside and will help you build a business that you love. So the link's below. Grab your copy. It's totally free. And that way, this is like your launch pad to starting your own online business. So I'm super excited. If you have any questions, what do you want to know before you quit your job? Leave them in the comments below. I'll swing back around to answer them.